Artemus Toast here, and what is gout? Well, I certainly know what it is. I've had it a few times over the years. Not so much. I actually haven't had it um, in over 5 years. The week that I quit drinking, I had it that week. That wasn't why I quit drink. I quit drinking for a number of reasons. I guess that could be one of them. But it's back. What is gout? Well, if you don't know what gout is, basically, I'm not going to get all clinical. I'm speaking from my experience. With some a few minor facts, I guess. Um, uh, Go to the Wikipedias, to the Googles, to find out more information about it. But basically, this is what it is. Your body uh, creates an acid called uric acid, and for some men, it mostly happens in men. Uh, it can accumulate and crystallize in joints, between your bones. Most commonly in the big toe foot area, essentially where not the toe joint right there, but essentially where the joint that attaches your big toe to your foot. Um, at least in me and in a majority of people, it accumulates there. Um, Essentially, um, there are there's a crystallized acid in between your toe joint, and there's a lot of nerve endings there. You know, um, the reason why I'm making this video is, uh, to those who've never had gout, they don't understand the extreme pain that it causes. I'm not, exaggerating this in any way. It may sound very exaggerated, but believe me, it is not. I could speak from personal experience, and I've been on this planet for many decades, that it's the most intense pain that I've ever felt. I've been in swordfish fights with members of Led Zeppelins. I've been kicked in the crotch by Diamond Dave. I've been I passed 2 kidney stones. I've been in a lot of physical altercations, and I've been life flighted 3 times in my life. I lost the hearing in one of my ears due to a subdural hematoma. I was in a car accident 20 years ago, almost exactly 20 years ago, that I got hit in the driver's side and basically took my hip bone and did one of these with it. Life flighted from that. Long story short, I'm not trying to I'm not bragging about these things, but I'm trying to, get across that I have experienced pain, as we all have, but I can't really put it on a scale of, personally, it's the most intensely painful thing I've ever experienced. Basically, it's the crystal in the joint of your toes. There are nerve endings there, and it's like just grinds with every beat of the heart. Then you have to adjust the way you walk. So then you're walking on the side of your foot so you don't bend that joint. Once again, all these things may not seem like big deals, or oh, it's a joint pain in the foot. It's more than that. That's what it is, but it's very intense pain. True story. I worked with a woman one time who gave birth without an epidural, passed the kidney stone, and had gout. And she said of the three, that was the most painful. That's why I'm trying to, it's a bigger deal than it may seem, and it lasts a few days. For me, it typically lasts, about a week. I'm about day 4 into it. It makes it hard to fall asleep. I usually wrap my foot in ice to fall asleep. Last time I had it, about 5.5 years ago, it was so intense that I actually had to sleep on the couch on my back with one foot in a bucket of ice water, to numb the pain enough so I could fall asleep, and I would repeat throughout the night. It's hard. It's really tough to concentrate on anything else when there's that intense of pain that you're dealing with. I know there's so many people who have it much worse, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm not. I don't want to come off as this is a whining session or anything, but not a lot of people know what gout is. Once again, going back to some of the other facts about it, it's typically associated with a lot of alcohol consumption. I gave that up 5.5 years ago. A lot of red meat, could also attribute to it. Once again, it's most common in males. And it's most, I mean, it can happen on any joint really, but it mostly happens in feet. But long story short, or short story long, what have you, this has already gone on longer than I thought it would. Very painful, if someone says they have, gout, show a little sympathy, because it is more painful than you would realize. I hope you never get it. It really, really sucks. I think I'd rather, well, not my fret hands, I think I'd rather hit myself in the foot with a hammer, hit the toe of a foot with a hammer, than deal with that. Not only because of the intense pain, but how long it lasts. But I think what I'll do is I'll give like a side-by-side comparison of my big toes to kind of show what it looks like. And once again, I'm 4 days in, and it's not the worst I've had it, but 1 second. Here's a side-by-side comparison, and sorry for my ugly feet, but it is this one right here, and that hurt tapping it. You see how it's swelled in this general area near the joint, and it's a little bit red and blotchy right now. Sometimes it's very red. I'm trying to hold the flashlight, but you see, it really hurts. You see how there's a lot of accumulated stuff there. Kind of see how it rapidly turns back to the red color, and that hurts every time I poke it. But yeah, basically you see side by side of my ugly feet how it's much more swollen in that general area. In all, it's not all kinds of awesome. Artemus toast out.